What's going on, guys? Fighting Game Select. We are back again with Tasty Steve in the building. Tasty Steve, what is good, bro?
What's good, family? You know me, man. Hopefully you doing well. It's always a pleasure to hear from you, and just see what you're working on, and it's a pleasure to be here, bro.
Man, I'm always happy to make time and hang out and shoot. We always talk all the time, so it's good to now bring that into a video so people can just kind of hear what people be talking about. A lot of people I feel like that are in the scene, that have been in the scene for a long time, they're always curious, like, what are these guys talking about? And genuinely, we always talking about how to improve something that we want to do.
Yes,
that's always kind of like our memo, whether it be like a character, a perspective, and things like that. So I feel like now we can make that into a video for the audience, right? And
that's actually a good point.
6 tips to help people get better at commentating. I know for a lot of people, and I say for a lot of people, it's hard to commentate fighting games.
Yes. I also feel like that there's a lot more work that goes into it that some people, like, there's a lot of people out there that really don't, like, think, they're like, oh, bro, he's talking. I'm like, I don't think you guys understand, like, how much work actually goes into, like, understanding the games to talk about it at a professional level.
What is the first tip that you'll give?
The number one tip, and I promise you, this is probably the most important, easiest way to start, and at least everyone knows exactly where you coming from. Number one, play the goddamn game. Play the goddamn game. I can't even talk to you unless you play the game. I understand that, like, obviously we do this on huge stages. I've done this on television. I've done this on television in other countries before. And you know what? Another thing, most of the things they tell me is, like, remember who you're talking to about the game. Sometimes you're talking to people who don't know what a fireball is. Sometimes they don't know what a QCF is. Sometimes they don't know what a 2-3-4 is. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know what an uppercut is. You have to remember that, like, being able to kind of, talk to anybody on any front when it comes to a fighting game is important. And to do that, to know which way and how to break it down, a lot of times it all stems from how much experience you have with the game. So first, foremost, before you hop on a mic, before you put on a headset, before you send an angry message, play the goddamn game. Done. That's number one.
That is a amazing tip, because let me tell you, man, there's a lot of people that talk so much about the game, and you look at the hours played, it'd be like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
1 hour.
That's...
You honestly, you got to put some hours in, just like everybody else is putting hours in who are not commentating or competing at their level, right? Mm-hmm. And whether it be like pro level, casual level, don't matter. They put the time, you also got to put the time with them. That is a great tip,
Yeah.
No. What's another tip you could give to somebody?
Another thing that I would say is support your locals. Now, and I say this, like, I know a lot of people like, bro, I don't have a local, like, I only play online, like, I don't go to arcades, like, there are no locals, I don't know who to play with. I'm not gonna say I'm just gonna say that literally I've traveled around the world, and every time people are like, I don't have anybody to play games with, there's nobody who plays fighting games here. I'm like, first off, that's 5 lies. You just told 5 lies with one sentence. Because no matter where you are, you can lift up a rock, you can make an internet post, you can make an internet post to talk, you can make an internet post to ask people in your area where the games are. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I say, hey, support your local. And even if that local is an online tournament that doesn't have a stream, that doesn't have a group of commentators, as long as you have a table to talk about those games and making sure that you promote that scene, and collectively and by proxy every fighting game scene, is to go and support, whether it be a player, whether it be pointing people to the right area, whether it be talking to somebody about playing games there. Like, support that local. And by supporting that local, that don't only means tell people to go there, throw them a couple bucks. That means respect it. Like, don't mess it up. Like, don't destroy the bathroom. Don't steal controllers. Don't take... What do people use? The adapters. There we go. The adapters that the tournament or your friend or anybody supplies you. That goes 100%. Make sure that it's a space for people to come and chill and play games and get casuals. Everything about support your locals. That's not only just you being there. That's, making sure other people get there. Because it was people that would come and pick me up to take me to locals, not only in St. Louis, but in California. And California is a big ass state. So when I say Support your locals. That's what I mean in every facet of the word, whether it be playing, hookups, controllers, cleanliness, safe spaces, bringing games, bringing adapters, not messing it up. Don't, destroy the bathroom in every way, shape, or form. Support your locals.
I think that is so much important because, it being at a place to talk about the games, will also encourage people to show up because they know somebody is on the mic showcasing not only how talented they are, but like how great the game is. And I think being able to do that is an amazing step. That is something I didn't like. I didn't think about it as a tip. So like when you explained it to me, it made even more sense. So I was like, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Support your damn locals. So that was really, really good. 3. What you got for number 3, bro?
Public speaking for commentary is a huge thing. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't even understand how huge of a thing it was. I didn't understand how important public speaking was when it comes to commentary. And as somebody who has never had like vocal training, someone who has never been in broadcasting outside of, doing commentary, like I didn't understand how much of a difference it makes until I actually started talking to other public speakers. And I started doing research on other public speakers. And I remember one time I was at an event and a guy asked me, he was like, hey, have you ever taken like, speech classes or like, went to class for? I was like, actually, no. He's like, well, you really like articulate. Like you can tell that like you get really excited and that you do all of these things. But like a lot of times you try to contain that excitement and pinpoint it in a way where other people can like enjoy that excitement and just being clear, right? Being, coherent, not stumbling a lot. Obviously, everybody can't do that. And it's not always as simple as that. But public speaking is a major thing. Now, whether that comes from taking classes, depending on how serious you want to take commentary, or just doing a heavy review style, or sending, your commentary or what you think may be commentary to somebody else, talking about it. Remember that public speaking is number 1 of commentary. So it wouldn't matter how good I play the game. It wouldn't matter how much I know about the game if I don't know how to speak in public. And that this goes into only the lesson side of it, to where you can get training, where you can feel a lot more confident on camera. Because some people don't feel comfortable on camera when they are talking about anything, let alone a video game, right? Especially when you have other people there, you don't know when they cut back. But public speaking is something that I feel like, even though it is, kind of convoluted in the sense of just saying public speaking, but being aware of it is just the beginning of it, right? Knowing how clear you sound, the words you say, enunciation, you know what I'm saying? I mess up words all the time, but also just in the sense of understanding that you are on a public forum and being able to not only conduct yourself, but speak the part that you are actually in as a person, as an informational point for somebody else that's watching at home, is very important. And having public speaking in any expertise, or just understanding how public speaking works, or just a little research. Listen, and I'll get, one of my favorite things to do is, that goes along with public speaking, is that I listen to other sports. I listen to other sportscasters, and whether it be old or new, I literally will listen to them to see how they describe things. And that's how I work on my public speaking at times. Or maybe I'll just go and like, hey, how do I say this word? Or what is this actually? And sometimes things get so, kind of like jumbled or convoluted that you got to remember like, oh, I'm going to say a lot right here. How do I put this into, a manageable note, or a little beat, or a little 3-second clip? These are all parts of public speaking. So I say public speaking is a very, very, very important part of commentary, and working on that can get you very far in becoming and starting your commentary career.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people that are not really good at speaking be trying to get on the mic.
I look, I'm gonna tell people all the time, and I hope it don't come off the wrong way, but like, there are people that are not good at public speaking. Like, you don't put them in that spot. If I ain't gonna say you can't, I'm just saying that like sometimes
I would say don't put
right
them.
Like it's sometimes it's something you got to work on. Like, if you really want to do it, then you will take that public speaking part and be like, well, hey, look, maybe I should go to a class. I had cousins that took speech classes, and it was only because he had a stutter and he didn't like it, so he wanted to make sure he wanted to get rid of it in a casual sense.
When I was trying to like be more like speaking very publicly, my biggest issue is I didn't know how to close the conversation. Like, I'll keep going and and it'll all make sense, but like, when is it gonna end? So
when do you stop talking?
I had a hard time. Like, all right, how can I close this to make it be like a nice, impactful ending?
I've had that problem before too. Sometimes I don't know when to shut up. But this also leads me into like my next point. Have a partner. And this is gonna go to my next one too. This is gonna go.
Okay, so when you go to the next one, that's number 5.
Yeah.
All right, cool. There's layers. All right, so we peeling the onion. Okay.
The reason that I say this is because that, public speaking comes with being partly comfortable, right? In part, you have to be comfortable to be comfortable public speaking. Having someone that you talk with more than once, that you talked with about games multiple times, and you have an understanding of how much they played the game, how much knowledge they have with that game. That makes a big difference, right? Sometimes being able to commentate, I feel like one of the most important things about commentary is being able to commentate solo. Because I feel like if you can commentate solo, you can definitely commentate with somebody else. But you have to have a I feel like it's smart to have a partner in some of these larger instances. If you're at your house and you're just streaming and you're chilling, fine. But for some of the events like an Evo, a combo breaker, or some of these big events, you want to, and having a partner doesn't mean you got to have your best friend. I don't need Jam automatically. I don't always need Rip. I don't always need Markman. I don't always need an Eris. I don't always need a Ringe. But having somebody that you feel comfortable enough to, kind of hey, I know this person understands this point, so I'm going to let them explain it. And they know I understand this, so I can let them explain it. And having a dynamic to where you have any kind of relationship with the person where you understand each other's how they commentate, their vocal patterns, how they understand the game, and just knowing how to expand upon that and having somebody that can accent that for you, right? If I'm commentating with Rip, he knows that I get hype, right? So just comparison wise, he's not going to be down when I'm up, right? And that comes from reading, whether it be an instance on the screen or just your partner, right? If something crazy happens on the screen and my co-commentator goes off and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Yeah. That's crazy. We're never going to see it. And you're like, yeah, man, that was cool.
Yeah, that's bad.
No, that's bad. Having a partner that understands those things, right? That understands I'm going to take this lead. I'm going to take the breakdown. I'm going to be the color. I'm going to be the analyst. Knowing how to trade back and forth in those things also comes from a part of public speaking, right? But having a partner that understands that about you, somebody that you play games with. I know that I can commentate. Chemistry. I know that I can commentate with Kizzie because I've played video games with Kizzie on top of us just being good friends, right? Same thing goes for Jam. I don't need to talk to Jam every day to be hey, we're going to commentate this thing. I know Jam plays the game and we're about to talk about said game. So having a partner that you can either practice this commentary with, that you're more comfortable with, because that's really going to bring to the forefront how good of a commentator you are, how much you know about the game, and it's going to affect the presentation overall. Because I feel like the most important part of commentary is the presentation, because you're not playing, you're describing other people playing. And talking about a game and commentating the game is two completely different things, like I talked about before.
And which leads to your next one.
Find your vocal style. Find your vocal style.
That's good.
Now, like I said before, public speaking is not easy. Not everybody can do it. I don't even think I'm that good at it. But the thing about it is, and I feel like one of the most important things is you don't want to get on, shout outs to Mike Ross, you don't want to get on commentary sounding like everybody else. There is no point in getting on commentary and sounding like every other person. You don't want to. I don't want to sound like Yipes. I love Yipes. I would love to sound like Yipes, but I am not Yipes. Jam is ridiculous. I want to do the hair flick thing too, but I am not Jam. And I'm not Rip. I don't have that articulation. I don't you have to work in your own space. And by that, I say find your own voice. Now, whether it's just, a boom, a John Madden boom, I say make some noise a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are so many things that goes into commentary outside of your knowledge, right? Outside of having a partner, outside of, supporting your locals and playing the game. It is having your own vocal style. Obviously we all use words. We're using English to communicate. Not everybody, but just in this instance, right? For me and you, it's English. Making sure that your style translates well, I feel like it's something that you need to think about. If you turned off the picture, the video, could you tell who is on that mic? And even more so, is it something that you kind of bond with? Is it something that you do? Is it a oh, here he with the all that stuff. Those are things that are specific to people that either have enough experience or two, that is something that they deliver in such a way that it's not mimical. It's not, you can't mimic it by doing what they do. Somebody else is not going to be able to do that. And even if they do, it might not be that effective. You don't have to be anybody else on commentary except for yourself. If it's 4 people up there and all y'all sound like Say Jam, why y'all there? If there's 4 people up there and all y'all sound like me, why y'all up there? Like, right? Like, and once again, this is no slight to anybody, you know what I'm saying? But I agree with like what Mike Ross says. Like,
sometimes sometimes the people need to get the hit a little bit, just so they can snap back into reality and learn something about themselves. Sometimes some people need to get jabbed on, you know, get the jab, cross hook, you know,
cross counter,
cross count, all that. You know, sometimes it's good to have that because, as I always say, and you know, a lot of people may disagree with this, but it builds character.
I remember I was on TBS where they shoot inside the NBA, right? And while I was on commentary, like I said, I get really excited. I was very bad at over talking people. And I haven't completely got rid of it, but I just get excited. I start talking. But me being conscious of it came from this instance, right? Mm-hmm. So I remember I was talking, I literally just finished the commentary. And I ain't gonna say who, but they know who they are. They called me and they were like, hey, stop talking over Say Jam. I'm like, what? They was like, yeah, the commentary's great, but you keep cutting. You're cutting off. And I wasn't aware of it completely, but I was aware of it to know that he was right. Ever since then, like even now, I'm like, hey, let them finish their thought. Like, give them that space so they can talk, and don't jump out in front of the bus before it's time. Because if you jump out in the street before the bus pull up so you can get on, you're going to get hit. Leave the floor for your partner. And if I've ever cut any of my partners off on commentary, just know I'm trying to learn my lesson, and I hope that you forgive me. But I promise you,
I love that.
I love
the open table apology, you know?
No, for real, bro, because I know there's somebody, this dude, Steve, I ain't get to say he was talking about a goddamn Deadpool costume the whole time. That ain't got shit to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like, I know that I get carried away. But that's also one of the reasons I try to be even doubly more conscious of the fact that, like, I want my commentators to get that shine.
If you can't get better with those tips, bro, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. Maybe being a spectator ain't so bad.
It's not always going to be easy out here. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know it to be true because not everybody don't like my commentary. Bro, I was in Amsterdam. A guy comes up to me at the Tekken World Tour in Amsterdam. He's like, yo, Steve, man, you are like a fabulous, like an amazing commentator. And like, I've definitely started, I like you even more now. He's like, but Eris will always be the GOAT. I'm like, I will tell him that you said that. I will let him know.
He said that to you?
Yes, he said that to me.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, look, you'd be surprised how many times I haven't. I'm not even mad at it. It doesn't even bother me. Like, I don't think the conversation was there for us to talk about my commentary comparatively.
No, it's just like how somebody can just bluntly just say, like, you will never be this person.
I mean, look, I get it.
They'd be like, yo, man, you like the best I've ever seen that walked this earth, but you'll never be this person ever in your life.
But that's why I say that, right? Like, even if you do all these things 1,000%, you still might not be somebody's cup of tea. Hopefully that made some kind of headway, and hopefully it makes sense. I promise you I ain't trying to shoot at nobody. I do agree with Mike Ross, though. Shout out to all my commentary brethren. Ba, ba, ba. And I'm pointing at the camera, too, so it actually double sounds like that. Swear it ain't no hate in it. No malice. No
malice? Well, look, man, without no malice, you got to let people know where can they find you at, bro.
Well, of course, they call me at Tasty. Wait, they call me Tasty Steve. You can find me at Tasty_Steve on Twitch. And yeah, man, I play a lot of video games. I talk about a lot of video games, and I like to chill.
Please leave a like, and make sure you guys give him a follow on all the platforms. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Hold on, Kizzie. Wait, I don't mean to cut you off. I know I just talked about cutting people off, but I just want to know. I want you to know. Make sure you guys follow my boy Kizzie. Fighting Game Select. I'm a fan. I've been watching these interviews as well. That's why I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to see the way that you've grown, creating your own lane and finding your own voice and becoming a commentator as well.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
It's always love, brody. You know.
And you guys let me know in the comment section below, man. How do you guys feel? And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, please. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.